But if you close your eyes,
welcome back to Pass It On, Nice Nation. Our next guest out there, friends, is a dynamic gentleman who has come to North County to lead, having an array of educational experience from elementary, middle, and now the high school level. This gentleman has a three-level approach to a successful school, and that is to engage, to explore, and to elevate. It's a pleasure to have this gentleman to allow us to spend and get to know him a little better. Without further ado, I bring to you our very own high school principal, Mr. Eric Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Qualibon.
It's great to have you here today. I understand that you're a very busy principal, so let's get started. When did you find out you wanted to become North County News principal?
I found out in middle of June.
Okay.
I was assistant principal here in Anne Arundel County for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started applying for principal positions and interviewed and went all the way up to the superintendent's interview, and then they offered me the position 2 days after the superintendent's interview.
Wow. And becoming North County's high school principal, were there any expectations you had coming over here?
There were a few expectations that I had. One of the expectations that I had was to create an environment of change.
Okay.
We've heard some things about North County. I've heard a couple of things, great things about North County.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to build upon those great things that were already happening here at North County, as far as our STEM program, our IT3 program, our AP enrollment, and those type of things. So building off the success of some of those programs.
Yes, sir.
Was an expectation of mine, so we can build and further be successful in those programs.
Okay. Has your perspective changed on the expectations after the first month of school thus far?
No, my perspective has not changed.
Okay.
I've always come in with high expectations for my students and for my staff.
Okay.
And right now, everyone is living up to those expectations.
It's a wonderful school.
Yes, it's a great school, and keeping in that three-tier system of engagement, elevate, and engagement.
Before we move on to the next question, how did you decide that you wanted to use that 3E or the E3 approach?
Very simple.
Okay.
It's the three things that it takes to run a school.
Okay.
If students are not engaged, if teachers are not engaged, and that's engagement across the board.
Correct.
Engagement in the classroom, engagement in extracurriculars, having that school function as a family.
Yes, sir.
That's that engagement piece. Everybody buys into the system of the school.
Okay.
And then you explore. I think it's very important that students in this time need to explore what they're learning. They need to know their wishes, and
why is it important? Absolutely.
It's very important to explore education.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are opportunities and what's out there, and sometimes exploring their own learning, because then they take it to heart.
It's meaningful to them when they do those type of things.
Very meaningful. And then once you do that, then everyone elevates.
Right.
And then that elevation approach is the elevating everyone, not just the STEM students, not just the IT3 students, but we elevate everyone.
All right, Mr. Jefferson, can you briefly describe your educational journey to become an educator?
Simply, I started a tutoring center.
Okay.
Back where I was from in St. Louis, I was practicing chemical engineering. Started a tutoring center. I found myself wanting to be at that tutoring center more than my regular job.
Okay.
So, in starting the tutoring center, that's how I really got into education. So when I got into education, I taught chemistry, AP chemistry, physics, AP physics.
So you were a science teacher at first?
Science teacher for 7 years.
Okay.
And then I moved from there and went into the administration ranks, starting off at middle school, then went to elementary school, and then did 4 years of high school.
Okay.
And 1 year at an alternative school. And then I became here at North County in my 16th year of education, here at North County as principal.
Which level you like best?
High school.
High school.
Without a doubt, high school.
Okay. Once again, we are privileged to be able to have a person like yourself to be able to come over to our school and lead. Principalships aren't long at many schools. Are there any goals and definitely that you want to accomplish while you're here. We don't want to see you go, but we know that when you do good, they tend to move you into better situations. You know.
I would like to leave a legacy.
Okay.
However long that it takes, but
Okay.
I want to leave a long lasting impression upon the parents, upon the students, but most of all upon the institution. Structures and procedures in place that will outlast me. I always believe coming into a leadership position that the institution will always outlast the individual, but the individual can change the institution and make the institution better and live longer. So that's coming in with procedures and processes put in place, that structures that are known that'll be best for kids,
Right.
that will outlast me.
I love that. I love that. What is something that you would like to share about yourself other than what you told us these past few moments that we don't know about you?
I'm a great guy. I'm actually really friendly.
Okay.
I love to have fun at work, but also too, I take my job very serious. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about the grown-ups. It's about the kids.
Right.
It's about making sure that they have a future.
Okay.
Making sure that they are set up for success. And that's what I love about my job. When I got into education, I found my purpose in life.
Okay.
And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. My purpose is to change the lives and the minds of kids. And that's what I'm doing every day.
Absolutely. And it appears that the kids are very receptive to you being around. They love you. I've seen you in the homecoming and various places throughout the building, high-fiving, dapping kids up and things of that nature. I believe that they really needed to have something of that magnitude to come about because of the situation that we incurred at the tail end of last year. So you definitely bring a different vibration that I don't believe none of these kids have ever experienced. You're somewhat like a father figure to not only kids and students, but pretty much staff members and things of that nature, to be able to identify with your mind frame as far as your E3 approaches and things of that nature. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? Or you want to tell the kids out there and students?
I just think simply I'm trying to build a culture where parents want to send their kids, teachers want to teach, and students want to be here.
Okay. I'll get you out on here. You're from St. Louis.
Yes.
You've been in Maryland for several years. What's your favorite bird?
Well,
Is it a cardinal? Is it a raven?
You already know there's only one real bird in baseball.
Okay.
And that's the St. Louis Cardinals. Not an Oriole, but a St. Louis Cardinal.
Okay.
And the Cardinal is my favorite bird.
Okay.
Of all. Not a raven, not an Oriole, but a Cardinal.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've heard it out there in TV land. It's been a great pleasure to be able to have this gentleman join us, our very own principal that we're excited to have in our building, Mr. Eric Jefferson. Thank you for coming, sir. You're always welcome to the show.